Go live, or what are we gonna do here? Hey, we're here. Welcome, welcome. We're live. Have we been live for the last? Okay, there we go. And now we're up. I'm having some technical difficulties tonight, which I'm not very happy about because this is the last night of Pavor Nocturnus. It's also the last night of Horror Humpdays, and we should not be having these kind of issues. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Anyhow, well, hopefully everything is gonna start working now. Um, Took me forever to get it live, and now here we are. We're live. Hopefully you guys will catch up. Um, but yeah, we've got have some issues with noise for my setup here. Hey Kevin, what's going on? What's up, Jessica? And don't think I don't think that it likes my I don't think it likes my phone because it seems to go wild. It gets that background noise that's freaking, I imagine, is really irritating for you guys too. This one's right in my ear, like literally in my ear. So I think it might have a little bit to do with this little gadget I got attached to my chest. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, that little guy. Um, I don't know if you guys know or not, but I evidently I went into AFib over the weekend, and I went in on Monday because I was starting to black out when I was having lunch with a friend of mine, and I started blacking out. And I said I think I should probably go to the ER. Probably a good thing. So if you don't know what AFib is, I got AFib with RVR. And what that means is the top of my heart is pumping like a mofo, and the bottom of my heart, it cannot keep up. And at the current moment, um, it is the top part of my heart is kind of just fluttering right now, kind of like what my soundboard is doing. Yeah, yeah, it was not good, Jess. Yeah, but anyhow, so I went to the doctor. They got me on one med to thin my blood because there's blood clots in my heart. Um, Hopefully those are gone by now, but who knows? And then also another one to slow my heart down, um, so that the rest of it can keep up. Oh, you've got AFib too, huh, Kev? You know, there's actually a lot of people out there that have AFib, so it's a lot more common than I guess most people know. Certainly myself. And Chuck's got it too. Hey, we're all part of the same club then. Um, so anyhow, so they got me on these meds and this heart monitor, which I have to wear for about 14 days, and then I'll go into the cardiologist and we'll figure stuff out from there. Um, so, in the meantime, no drinking for me, which really isn't a big problem because I'm not a big drinker anymore, or any less, I guess, for that matter. But uh, yeah, so it's a bit of a change of lifestyle. I'm gonna have to. I'm probably gonna have to change my diet a little bit. Um, I'm on the road all day with my job, and I know it's not an excuse, but I eat a lot of gas station food, and it's I know it's not good for me. Um, Probably the reason why I can't keep my weight down and all that other stuff. Oh, thanks, Bobby. Thank you for the stars. Um, so I've got to do that, and yeah, I got to change a lot of things in my life. So there's actually just a lot of changes going on in the world right now, especially in my world. So, but yeah, so that was a bit of a scare for me, and right, Jessica, it was a bit of a scare for me. So yeah, it kind of sobered me up a little bit. Um, Thanks again, Bobby. Um, but I don't know. I mean, I'm walking on top of the grass. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I know if I didn't make it through this, uh, my books would probably sell better. So there is that to think about. Um, but I've got a couple other books I want to finish. So yeah, there's that. Anyhow, welcome to Horror Hump Days Presents. We are on the last chapter and the last part of our book. So we've made it, and it's it's a it's a pretty cool, if I say so myself, pretty cool ending to this book. I hope you guys enjoy it as well. Um, yeah, it's so after tonight, we are going to be done with Horror Hump Days. Does that mean that we're done with um? Does that mean that we're done with story time? No. Um, I plan on doing Tales on Tuesday, in which I'm going to be reading my serious book, um, The Ballad of Broken Bird. So, um, so yeah, that's what this is going to change to. We're going to take a break for about a week with telling stories, and then we'll come back on a Tuesday, and we'll have Tales on Tuesday. Well, I was at death's door. I'm still here, so dang it, you better be too. I get that a lot. But yeah, I don't know. It's one of those existential things that makes you think. So, we had some terrible things happen today out in the world, and I'm not going to make a comment one way or the other because it can get really political, and this isn't a place to. This is not a platform to deal with reality. This platform is for fantasy only, and it's about telling stories. Um, it's horrible what happened, um, and I'm just gonna say that no matter what or who, every life out there, from a fly to somebody in the political arena, their life is sacred, and every life is sacred, and it's too bad that this is where we are in society right now, and it's just it's not a great thing. So, but that's all I'm going to say on that. We're going to talk about the book. We're going to talk about future books, and from then on, still need you in my life, brother. Oh, I don't know about that, Bobby. Um, there's other guitarists out there that probably play a hell of a lot better than me. But anyway, yeah. So the story, we have followed. Um, well, we followed several 9 dreamers through their nightmares, and in this last chapter, which we've kind of gone on and on and on with, um, broken down into 9 parts. Um, our hero Joe Salinsky has rescued almost all of the dreamers from their nightmares. Some of them have passed along and died in their nightmares. Joe has had to deal with that, and now he's on the last dreamer. And hopefully, he's able to keep that dreamer alive in order to wake them up, and return them back to the land of lucidity. And yeah, so that's where we're at. And I think we should sit back and enjoy the story. If you don't, well, I'm sorry, but that's all I got. Anyhow, Chuck, I fasted 20 hours a day to lose weight, and my heart snapped in also. Oh, really? Fasted for 20 hours. Huh. Now, did that include water as well, Chuck? Or did you still drink water or coffee or whatever and just didn't eat for 20 hours? I'm interested in that. I'm interested in the different diets that are out there. I did the egg diet a few years ago, and I actually lost about 30 something pounds from that. And that was just I ate a lot of eggs and grapefruit and potatoes. Ah, you still drank water. Okay, there you go. All right, so those noises are starting to tick me off. I don't know if you guys can hear them in the background, but it's kind of like interference or whatever coming from somewhere. I don't know where it's coming from. I'm guessing it's coming from my heart monitor, probably. Um, I know they said to keep it away from like 6 inches away from any electronics, so that might be what's going on. Also, cut out caffeine. Oh, that's gonna be the hard one, Chuck, because like coffee is my life, especially since I gave up the whiskey. I drink a lot of coffee. I'm not much of a pop drinker, but I do drink a ton of coffee. I love it, almost more than life itself. So, um, yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna have to switch around out there, but I am gonna take the whole fasting thing into consideration. So, how does that work, Chuck? 20 hours fasting. So for 4 hours, you do eat. Now, do you like? Did you just pig out and eat whatever you wanted in that 4 hours, or did you um, eat sensible meals in that 4 hours? And is that like a 4 hours of just feasting, or is it just giving yourself a 4 hour window to eat stuff like that? So that I'd be interested in knowing about that. So anyhow, if you happen to have your badgers and your bees with you, now would be a good time to present them. We can talk more about this fasting stuff and other things to come in the Beehive Productions universe. And then, yeah, and then we'll wrap up the night. So it's already 8:20. Holy crap! So yeah, we've got everything's working except for we still got 2:30 till 6:30. I ate two normal meals. Okay, all right. I'm gonna figure that out, Chuck. I'm gonna give it a try. How long did you do that for? I didn't check that out. Let's see. Maybe you said to Chuck. Past 20 hours a day to lose weight, and my heart snapped in also. Okay. Thanks for the badgers and the bees, buddy. All right. Well, let's get in the mood. Blink. All right. Let's see. Got my voice changer and my echo chamber. 4 years you did that for. Wow. That's some willpower, man. That is some willpower. All right. Let's get into the book, shall we? Let's get this tale told. I don't want to leave Joe hanging. Pavor Nocturnus, Chapter 10. Joe takes a dirt nap, Part 9. There was only a tiny bit of hallway left. The rest was blackness. He was sure that within that blackness was just a void. The house was losing cohesion. Ahead of him was a thin path made of decaying wooden planks that didn't look safe enough to stand on. There were no more walls, just the inky blackness and this thin trail leading to an ominous green light ahead of him. Hey, Dwayne, welcome. We aren't in the house anymore, are we? He asked. Yes and no. We stand on the edge of the bridge. I think this is the last of the dreamer's grandson. so be ready. I don't like the look of that glow up ahead. That is where the final sleeper is. We must go there. This isn't going to be easy, is it? I'm afraid not. But remember, I am with you. Thanks, Grandma. The boards snap and creak. Some of them break off and fall into nothingness as he makes his way to the green light. It is like the pool of water. Green, almost gaseous light rippled in front of him. He doesn't want to poke his hand in it, thinking of what happened last time. The mist is so thick, and he cannot see what is on the other side of it, only knowing by intuition that the dreamer is on the other side. As Joe measures up the portal, a thin, pale hand reaches through, seeming to puncture his chest. He can feel its long, ice-cold digits dig around inside of him. What is this shit? He utters. The house! It's the house! The hand pulls Joe through the green mass, and he is held aloft in what looks like a mortuary. On the other end of the hand is a very tall, thin man, smiling at him with a mouth filled with too many teeth and eyes burning a red, hungry glow. There are 3 children standing frozen in fear on the other side of the room.
Why, look,
The thin man says.
a fresh soul.
Joe felt a tugging from the inside. The thin man also had hold of one of the kids, pinned to the ceiling. What are you doing? Joe asked. Grandson, he's trying to pull me out. He's trying to sever our connection.
I think it's time to even the score.
The thin man pulled with his might, and the essence of his grandmother was beginning to detach from his own soul. Nana! He shouted. He could feel her struggling to hold on to him, to keep the connection, but her grip was slipping.
There you are. Such a delectable morsel. I can feel your energies flow around you.
The thin man tossed the kid to the side and used both hands to grasp Joe's grandmother. He felt so helpless as he didn't know how to keep her tethered to him. You'll have to let me go, Yosef. No! He shouted. No! None of this is real! Her essence came out in a thick purple mist, smoky tendrils whipping around desperately to fight off the predator. With the purchase of his grandmother, the thin man tosses Joe into the far wall, where he falls into a heap next to the frightened children.
All this is real, Joseph. This isn't your dream. You are merely a player, an interloper. For all the misery you have caused me, I aim to pay you back.
Let her go, you son of a bitch! Joe spat. I'll kill you!
Kill me? Oh, that's rich. Kill me. Who do you think you are?
I am Zavicho. I am the savior. I come like those who have come before me. like my grandmother.
This pathetic little soul is your dear grandmama?
Joe looked over at the children. The older ones were frightened, but not as bad as the youngest, who cowered behind them. I don't know which one of you is the dreamer, he said, but you must wake up. Please, for the sake of my grandmother, wake up! The children only looked at one another, and then at Joe. We're sorry, mister, the older girl said, but none of us are dreaming right now. This is real. No, Joe said, lowering his head. This isn't happening. I can't lose her twice. The thin man licked his thin, waxy lips and bit into the mist, its tendrils quivering in pain. The man began to inhale as if draining the energy within the purple cloud.
Her essence is so intoxicating. Her struggles make her taste that much sweeter.
Joe realized there was only one thing to do. If none of the children knew they were dreaming, he would have to try and wake up each one. Immediately, he thought it was the youngest, as she looked the most terrified. He grabbed her by the shoulders and brought his right hand back. Sorry about this, kiddo, he said. He slapped her as hard as he could. Her little body flew back and splashed onto the floor in a black puddle of gore. Kellyanne! Screamed the older girl. What have you done to my sister? The boy said, balling his fists up. God, I hope I'm right, Joe says to himself, while he lifts his leg up and his foot springs out and connects with the boy's jaw. Gary! The older girl cries out and catches him before he hits the floor. What have you done? What kind of monster are you? I figured it was you. You were the level-headed one. The other two were exaggerations of the people you thought they were. What are you talking about? These are my cousins. Take another look. There, in her arms, where her cousin Gary lay, was a bubbling blob of ichor. What? I don't under... This is all a dream. Please, please wake up. That tall, thin man has been feeding on you. He's feeding on your fears, and now he's feeding on my grandmother. She reached out to touch Joe's face. Are you real? I am. Please, wake up for my Nana's sake. The girl closed her eyes, and her shape flickered away before she could open them again. Lynnette jerked in her sleep. Honey? Her husband was shaking her shoulder from the other side of the bed. Honey, wake up. You're having nightmares again. She awoke gasping as if air filled her lungs for the first time. She was no longer a little girl. She was back to being her 45-year-old self. Mark? She said, trying to clear her eyes. You must have had a doozy, her husband said, rolling back over on his side. You're all covered in sweat. Kept kicking me and whimpering in your sleep. I'm sorry, honey. It was such a horrible dream. Do you want to talk about it? It was 3 a.m., and the last thing he wanted to do was listen to her describe one of her many nightmares. But he loved her, and he was a bit concerned for her. She had been having these night terrors for months. Do you remember that story I told you about my Aunt Dottie's funeral? He did. A fantastic story about some monster feeding on the souls of the dead. He thought it was just a childhood story that was remembered with a little overactive imagination, the way we always do when we recollect our past. Yeah, he said. It was about that, but there was someone different in the dream. A young guy, kind of scraggly looking, long hair and a long beard. He was trying to save his grandma's soul or something like that. Well, great. Now you're dreaming about strange bearded men coming to your rescue. I don't know, Mark. This seemed different somehow. Mark sat up, put his arms around his wife, and kissed her forehead. Well, it's over now, he said. Do you want me to put some tea on, help you get back to sleep? No, she said. I think I'm going to stay up for a while. You want me to stay up with you? I'll be okay, honey. You go back to sleep. Mark plopped down into his pillow gratefully. Well, let me know if you need anything. He was getting comfortable. After the last dreamer had awoken, Joe turned his face to the thin man. The purple mist that was his grandmother was a dull gray cloud that was slowly dissipating. Grandma! He screamed.
You're too late, Joseph. Grandma isn't here anymore. She belongs to me now.
Joe sat on his knees before the house of Pavor Nocturnus. He felt defeated. Sadness threatened to drown him.
And now you belong to me.
The thin man reached out his thin hands and buried them deep into Joe's chest. He could feel the long fingers worming through his body. Sleep began to overtake him. The thin man's shape began to change. It was no longer the image of a dreamer. It was its true self. His features melted into a heaving mass of rotted black flesh.
That's it, Joseph. Give in. Let your will be mine. I have taken many of your kind in the past, and I won't stop anytime soon.
With every beat of his heart, his energy was being pumped out of him. The world around him was getting dimmer.
Don't be so hard on yourself. I've been at this for a very long time. You're just a rookie.
He thought about the stories his grandmother had told him. Sure, there were scary beasts that dwelled on this side of reality, but there were beautiful things too.
You fought well for the first time around, I must admit. But this is how it ends. I'll put you to sleep and keep you around as my prized milk cow. You'll feed me for generations, and I'll pull more dreamers in.
He remembered the smock that flew around his grandmother's flowers, catching the butterflies that colored the already bright and beautiful fauna his grandma planted and cared for.
And when the dreamers have given me their nightmares, I'll release them into the land of lucidity. Those children will feed on the populace. Oh, it will be glorious.
As his life force was drifting away from him, he felt a warm gust of wind light upon his face.
What are you doing?
The room was beginning to lighten up, As it got brighter, he got warmer.
Stop this at once. Stop it! What is that? What's coming?
There was a familiar whirring sound, but it was louder than he had remembered it. The sound vibrated so hard that he could feel it in his chest, where those long, life-taking fingers were embedded.
What sort of madness is this? What is happening?
Joe flicked open his eyes. The breeze had dried the tears from his cheeks. Before him, slithering above the quivering black mass of flesh, was a dragon, a smock. It gave off the warmth and light that blinded the room. It inhaled a deep gulp of air and then blew forth a blue arc of fire that drowned the House of Night Terrors.
No!
Screams bubbled up from its depthless flesh, and the smell made Joe retch. The smock slithered around the house and bathed it in blue flames. When it had finished the job, it settled on the ground before Joe. I knew you could do it, a familiar voice said. Dismounting from the smock was the little boy he once was. He held out his hand to Joe, and Joe took it. Grandma is, Joe said sadly.
Is free. Now let's get out of here. The nightmare creatures will smell this from miles away, and they're gonna be hungry.
They mounted the dragon, and the massive wings began to vibrate, and they were lifted into the air. Holy fuck! Joe said and sat straight up. He could hear the jukebox blaring out another outlaw country song from downstairs in the bar. He checked his body and then ran into the bathroom and let all the contents of his stomach go into the toilet. There was a knock at his apartment door. You okay, boss man? It was Jenny. Does it sound like I'm okay? Joe moaned. Fair enough, crab ass. I'm finished closing. Got the money bags right here. Joe flushed the toilet and stood over the sink. He ran some cold water over his face and looked at his reflection. I need to start doing heavy drugs, he muttered to himself. He dried his face and walked out and opened the door for Jenny. Jesus H, she exclaimed. You look like shit. Thanks. He grabbed the money bag from her and wished her a good night. He staggered over to his bed and fell onto his mattress. Joe hollered to his Alexa and told her to play Kiss Destroyer. She submitted, and Paul Stanley began to bellow as Joe fell into a deep sleep, dreaming of giant celestial turtles swimming across the great sea of stars. Afterward. Long ago, when I was a very young boy, I spotted a little lizard that was bright green with insectile wings. It flew about my mother's flower beds, eating the bees and butterflies that fluttered about the petals. I followed it from the back of the house to the front, and with a loud pop, it disappeared into thin air. I told my mom about it. She, of course, didn't believe me. So I went into my room, filled with every Star Wars toy under the sun in the late 70s, and grabbed the worn notebook on my dresser. I wrote a story about a place called the Land of Nod. It was a fantastical place that held the creatures and people that showed up in our dreams. There were unicorns, dragons, werewolves, vampires, Santa Claus, fairies, dwarves, brave heroes, superheroes, and the like living in this land. The story went on about a noble grandmother, because my grandma was my hero in my young life, who was tasked with guarding the bridge that separated our waking world from the land of Nod. And I was her grateful apprentice. I don't know where those pages ended up. Lost to time, I guess. Or perhaps they lie on that tattered ancient bridge, yellowing and brittle. And that, my friends, is the end of Pavor Nocturnus. Thank you very much for joining me on that one. I hope you guys had fun listening to that. Thank you, Dwayne, on the effects. Yeah, it's something new I got myself. Um, and it's been a lot of fun. I'm just trying to get rid of the interference. I think a lot of it has to do with my heart monitor, because it's never been constant like it is. So, but hopefully, once I get this thing off, well, we don't have that to worry about. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the story. I hope. Well, thank you, Kevin. I'm glad you liked it. I'm glad you liked it. That afterward is actually. I mean, I don't know if it's true, but I do remember when I was young. Um, I mean, it was before the Atari even, and I used to like to play out in the backyard and with my Star Wars toys. And I swear to God, there was it looked like a miniature snake, a green one, and it was like a really weird electric green, and it had dragonfly wings, and it was eating butterflies and bees. And I chased it to the front of my house, and there was a loud pop, and it just disappeared out in thin air. Yeah, it was something weird. So, anyways, that's kind of where this everything all kind of took off from there. So, but I'm very glad you guys joined me. You're very welcome, Bobby. I'm sad too. What a great story. Well, thank you, Jessica. Thank you very much. And yes, Chuck, I will get a hold of you on the fasting thing. Most definitely. I'm very interested in it. So what is on the board now for b.hive Productions? That's a good question. So we're going to take a break from storytelling for a week. Um, we're doing toe tapping Thursdays now, Bobby and I, so that we can both be in attendance for that. Um, so that will be happening every Thursday now. He and I have a gig this weekend. On Saturday, we're gonna be playing a private birthday party, and I'm not sure what we got after that. Rooftop concert. Yeah, well, that's up in the air. We'll have to talk about that tomorrow night, Bobby, and see how that's gonna go about. What else we got going on? I see that the city of Winthrop is having their uh, summer-ending picnic, and we didn't get invited back, man. The Matt Magus band is playing, I guess, or I know it's a Magus is playing uh, for the picnic. So, and they're pretty good too. So, I mean, not as great as you and me, right? Coffee with friends on Sundays. That could be a thing too. Um, yeah, that could very well be a thing as a coffee with friends thing. Um, so yeah, I don't know. We'll figure it out. I mean, it'd be we were talking kind of about that Winthrop Wednesdays thing. I think maybe that could be a coffee with friends thing. Like maybe we just invite somebody to have coffee with us and we just talk about whatever. So You stroked out last time. I did stroke out last time. But yeah, I don't, yeah. Yeah, I did. So I have been trying to do hand exercises, the stretching them out before I do gigs. And I did it for the Orange Spectacular. But yeah, we went a little long and hard on that finale there for Freebird. We went a little long, and we should have cut that a little shorter. But I did start to stiffen up on that one. But yeah, so hopefully at our gig Saturday, I don't fucking have a heart attack, right? So yeah, well, we'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm definitely not drinking. So, but anyhow, yeah. So there's that. As far as us tales go, we're gonna do, or I'm going to do. We're going to be doing storytelling. It's going to be on Tuesday, though. That is going to move to Tuesdays, and it will not be a horror story. The story I'll be reading is one that I haven't published that yet. I haven't finished it yet. I'm pretty far ahead on it, and I have enough on there, I think, to do something like this. Um, but I'm very interested to know what you guys think as far as me writing serious stories, not just horror and fantasy. So it's going to be the Ballad of Broken Bird. It's about a young, well, not a young man. He's in his 50s, and he got a cancer diagnosis, and he's seen some shit, and he decides that he's going to sell everything he owns and pack up his necessities on his motorcycle and travel the United States. And everybody that he meets is actually a real person that I have met um, in real life. And yeah, and some of the interactions in there are real stories, real interactions. They've just been given enough fiction to not implicate anybody. So, Christmas stories. Blah, Kevin. Blah. Um, so anyhow, yeah, that's the story I'm going to be reading on Tuesday's Tales, and that will probably be happening in a couple of weeks. I'll put up an event for that. Um, so there will be that story is coming up. I have been working on some horror stories, so yeah, I'm hoping to get those written and published as well. Also, reading The Ballad of Broken Bird, I feel will push me to finish the book as well. So, it's not going to have a traditional ending. I already know that. But I think it will, reading it to you guys will not only encourage me to keep writing it, but also to finish it. Um, yeah. And I don't know, some people might think I'm kind of insane for reading an unpublished book to the public when I haven't when I haven't you know finished it or even edited it. So, but you guys with your Christmas, you guys can start your own channel and you can just do all Christmas 24/7. Christmas is a sensitive subject for me. I'm not a huge fan of it, and but I don't knock that you guys love it, and I'm glad you do, and I'm glad you got something you enjoy. But Christmas bums me out. So anyhow, that being said, yeah. So we're gonna. It's probably just gonna be. It's gonna be tomorrow night is toe tapping Thursdays. Next week will be toe tapping Thursdays, and then we'll could be coming back the week after that with Tuesday Tales or something like that. Um, and there'll be that, and yeah, I kind of like the idea of I know Bobby and I can kind of pass those ideas around tomorrow night when we're on. Tomorrow night we're going to be playing some, probably some of our set, one of our set lists, or mix up our set lists. We got a ton of music that we play, so we'll probably be playing some of our favorites. Just to give you a hint of what we're doing tomorrow night, Bobby. Um, but yeah, we'll probably be doing that just to use it as practice for our gig on Saturday night. So, because we haven't practiced for that at all. And it hasn't helped that am an A-fibber. So yeah. And I mean, if it makes you guys feel good, I didn't feel any rumbling in my chest during this whole entire live stream. So that must mean my medication's doing what it's supposed to do. So that being said, you guys, thank you very much for coming out. Thank you for following me and participating in these stories. Because yeah, I write these for people like you that like to listen to them, and I think too the horror genre is not for everybody. I know that. But for me, horror is very easy to write. Um, it's very raw, and the the fear and stuff is a lot to. It gives you a lot to play with. Um, so I'm hoping that I will get a bigger viewership when I start reading the Ballad of Broken Bird. It's the Ballad of Broken Bird is a huge. It's a lot. A lot of me is in that book, and or in that manuscript, and I'm hoping that it touches other people too, and entertains them. And I hope I get people to care about the characters. Um, I'm not I'm not as well practiced writing serious stories as I am with horror stories. So, um, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I'm hoping this will bring some more people to the channel. I hope it'll bring more people into wanting to read my books and sha-la-la, all that stuff. So, anyways, well, despite the technical difficulties I had at the beginning of this, everything seems to be doing fine now. So thank you all for coming. I appreciate you. Thank you all for constantly coming to Horror Hump Days. Please don't be sad thinking that we're done telling horror stories, because I'll never be done doing that. It's just going to be a while for that to come back till I get another horror book published, um, which hopefully will be done by the end of the year. So we'll see what happens. I still gotta have I gotta have a Halloween contest like we did last year, and have you guys help me put together another scary story so we can put that in the new book as well. So we had the dollhouse last year. Probably we'll read that again this Halloween, but I also would like to read a new story that was helped along by you guys. So anyhow, you guys have a great night. Love you all. You know that. Peace and a bottle of hair grease. Mwah. See you tomorrow night at 8 o'clock with Bobby. Now you're going to go zap, zap, zap.